to stay dead. You don't know the rules of the game anymore.
Tell me about it. 8 years ago, this guy was on the hit list.
Budget cuts, dear. Congress blinded us overseas. I was forced to turn to any eyes and ears I could find, even if that meant recruiting the quote-unquote bad guys here.
Budget cuts. Is that what this is about? Operation Honeymoon. Fuck me. You're running a fundraiser.
Fundraiser?
1993. World Trade Center bombing, remember? During the trial, one of the bombers claimed the CIA had advanced knowledge. The diplomat who issued the terrorist visa was CIA. It's not unthinkable they paved the way for the bombing, purely to justify a budget increase.
You're telling me that you're gonna fake some terrorist thing just to scare some money out of Congress?
Well, unfortunately, Mr. Hennessy, I have no idea how to fake killing 4,000 people. So we're just gonna have to do it for real. Oh, blame it on the Muslims, naturally. Then I get my funding. Good night, old girl. Down to the LBN Chopper 1.
Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, as always, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to our powers. Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rucha HaKodash. Hey, give it double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that have taught us this truth, that are constantly ruling well through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Hey, peace, mercy, and blessings to the beloved Akim that are out there pushing this word wholeheartedly in truth and in sincerity, that are not wavering to the left nor to the right, but constantly stand on that straight and narrow, fighting for your crowns in these last days that we are truly living in. Even Shalom to the few sisters, the Agwabs that are out there, and even Shalom to the Israelite foreigners, those that may look like the other nations, but their seed line is going back into our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I'm the brother Ira, coming back with another lesson to the Lord, willing, edify, and feed the lambs of the Lord. Y'all do praise lesson is edifying to the Lord's elect. All right, and I played that clip in the beginning because it just goes hand in hand, all right, with the times that we are in, because lately in the news, you recently had, the shooting in D.C. with the National Guard, all right, which, I forget the man's name, but he was of a Muslim background, all right, and, he was sent over here, came in during the Biden administration, all right, and he was actually a part of the CIA, okay, all right, so a lot of these things that are taking place, Esau is behind it, all right, it's a lot of propaganda, it's a lot of psyops going on, all right, because they're getting ready to set up some type of Black Swan event, false flag, you name it, okay, and the movie and clip in the beginning was from, what is it called? Salakia, The Long Kiss Goodnight. All right, with Samuel Jackson, which is it's a good movie to watch. It's a real good movie to watch. All right, but you heard what he said. They set up certain scenarios like that in order to get funding and to move forward with their plans, and they don't know how to fake killing thousands of people. All right, so people got to die in the process in order for Esau to make it look real and to move forward with their agendas. All right, so revelation of the method is pretty much where they say it's a conspiracy theory posting that secret elites reveal their hidden plans to the public through media to reduce their karmic responsibilities. This theory is associated with the occultism and the idea that media, including AI, serves as a tool for this hidden revelation. All right, what's their plans? What's their motive? Okay, what's their agenda? They put these things in movies, which most people just watch movies as a source of entertainment, when a lot of these things that are put in movies are, that it flies right over most people's head because they don't look at it with a spiritual lens. All right. Now, what I want to do is I want to grab this precept real fast, all right, because it tells you that um, here in America, this is the land where the people dwell carelessly. Let me see if I could. Yep, here it is. Yep. This is the land where people dwell carelessly. All right. Let me get this real fast. All right. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 49 and 31. It says, "Arise, get you up unto the wealthy nation that dwelleth without care, saith the Lord, which have neither gates nor bars, which dwell alone." All right. So a part of the Biden administration, they allowed a lot of these military age T's to come through the borders. Okay. And this was all done strategically. All right. Because see, these people are here, and it's a matter of when they're going to be activated and the right timing and scenario for a so-called Black Swan event. All right. Which we're close to something major, happening to where it's going to completely shut down this society. So it says, reading on, it says, "And their camels should be a booty, and the multitude of their cattle a spoil, and I will scatter into all winds them that are in the utmost corners, and I will bring their calamity from all sides thereof, saith the Lord." All right. So when all hell breaks loose out here, it's going to affect everybody in Babylon. All right. Everybody in Babylon is going to be affected. It's going to come from all sides. Okay. Just as we've been saying, the time of Jacob's trouble. All right. We're here. Jacob's trouble. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this video from Steve Ram. So let me get back to where I was at. Play this video from Steve Ram. Okay. All right. Let's check this out.
News coming out today, November 29th, 2025, as we're hearing that there was a plan for a bombing in a U.S. city that has just been stopped. Take a look here. You can see Afghan asylum seeker Mohammed Dawood Alakozai admits on TikTok that he was planning an attack. Now, this video is circulating around, and we're hearing that he has been stopped. He admitted that he was building a bomb and was planning to detonate it for an attack in Fort Worth, Texas. Afghan nationalists admitted via Operation Allies Welcomed, charged with making terrorist threats, Department of Homeland Security says. Now, Afghan nationalist arrested for bomb threat in Fort Worth. Now, also, we have that attack that happened in D.C., and Donald Trump said, "You won't be here for long." Trump calls for migration ban on third world nations after the D.C. shooting. So there's a lot coming out in the past couple of hours today, Saturday, November 29th, 2025. I'm going to get you caught up on the latest, play for you the video footage, share with you the articles so that way you can see it for yourself. And if you're glad to see the approach that Donald Trump is taking, as he is saying he's going to be reversing the migration in and shipping people out, if you're glad to hear it, drop a 47 in the comments for support for Donald Trump. Let me know your thoughts. But this coming out today, we're hearing that yet another potential attack on a U.S. city, this was going to be a bombing in Fort Worth, Dallas, Texas, has been stopped. So I'm going to dive into the details. And as you guys know, here on the channel, I cite all the sources. They're hyperlinked in the description. So you can go ahead, click the links, read them for yourself. I'm going to put it on the screen, read right from it, show you the latest so you can see the dates, the sources, and see this came out in the past 4 hours. You can know and rest assured that this is the latest. Now, if you appreciate that, do me a favor before I dive into the video footage and the details, hit that thumbs up like button for me. Subscribe to stay up to date. It's totally free. Why not? Pretty much going live every day. Turn on those notifications because it could be at any time whenever there's breaking news like this coming out. But with that being said, let's go ahead and dive right in so you can see the latest. Let's start off with some video footage so you can see it for yourself.
We do want to continue with our top stories that we're following here. We want to bring you a bit of breaking news. I'm putting this up on your screen. It's from Brooke Taylor with Fox News, saying exclusive. An Afghan national was arrested on Tuesday after posting a video of himself on TikTok indicating that he was building a bomb with an intended target of the Fort Worth area there in Texas. This is all according to the Department of Homeland Security. I want to put up some video that we have there of that suspect in full there on your screen. But we do know that court records are showing that the man is now being charged with making a terroristic threat at the state level. He came into the U.S. as a part of the Biden administration's Operation Allies Welcome, just like the D.C. shooting suspect. On September 7th of 2022, he was admitted as a lawful permanent resident. ICE has currently lodged a detainer on him. Once again, that is the current update that we have there from Fox News. Is Brooke Taylor, with them now reporting there that the Afghan national was charging Fort Worth, Texas, has now been arrested, according to the Department of Homeland Security. I do want to also show you this live look that we have there in Dallas, in Fort Worth area, there in Texas. If we get any other updates or details, we'll certainly make sure to bring them to you here on Live Now from.
There you have it, you guys. Now, we also had heard that he had released this initially on TikTok. So I'm going to share with you here what's going around on X, as we're seeing this TikTok video starting to circulate around. And you can see here, I'm not going to play the sound for you, but he is saying that he...
Now, when I originally saw this, I just thought of it as a joke. You know, how soft America is. All right, because... you know, a lot of these individuals that are publicly being shown for doing these crimes and threats and all that, all right, these are all setups, man. All right, but, you know, back during the Bush administration, all right, see, there was real killers, man. You know, these individuals that are popping up on TikTok, it just shows how far low America has come. All right, which you know, I got a good laugh at it because I'm like, come on, man, this ain't no real, you know, elite hitter gonna hop on social media and proclaim what he's gonna do, to call out when even us that are in the truth, we know that all these platforms, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all the rest of them, they're nothing more than CIA and FBI spyware, okay? They surveil all these platforms, okay? But the initial thing to keep in focus is that they're showing you that this thing is coming, all right? And that's what, you know, you take from it. All right, that something is getting ready to go down. All right, and even though Esau's being sloppy with how he's doing it, you have to prepare your mind for this thing to get ready to happen. All right, because again, you know, these people are here. All right, these people are here. All right, let me get another precept real fast. I want to get the book of Ephesians. You know, just showing what's going on in the news. All right, just, you know, sounding the alarm. All right. Let me see. Let me get the book of Ephesians. All right, the 5th chapter. Okay. All right, because things getting ready to hit the fan. All right, shit getting ready to hit the fan. Okay. Because we're not in a time of peace. We're in a time of war. This is Ephesians chapter 5, and let's start at verse 14. It says, "Wherefore he said, Awake thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead, and a Mashiach shall give thee light." All right, so more than ever, it's time to come out of that state of darkness. All right, the ways of the world. All right, it's time to put the world off. Okay, come out of that dead state and, you know, come back to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, speaking to you tribes that are out there, you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians. Because if you haven't noticed, all right, these Edomites are making war against you. All right, they sent ICE towards the Northern Kingdom, which are the Spanish-speaking tribes. But now they're sending ICE towards the Haitians, which are the Southern Kingdom, all right, which are the Levites. I think Donald Trump wants 300-something thousand deportation of Haitians that are over here, all right? So all hell is getting ready to be multiplied upon you Israelites that are out there, but those that Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai is, you know, giving you the spirit to turn from your wicked ways. All right, now is the time to do so more than ever. Now is the time to, you know, lock in the spirit. Okay, all right, and anchor into this truth. Okay, because when all hell breaks loose, it's going to be Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, the knowledge, the wisdom, the understanding, all right, the faith that the Lord has given us as he's been building us up to keep us stable during these terrible times that are ahead of us. Okay. And people are getting ready to lose it out here as they see themselves in situations that are going to be hopeless unto them. All right. As we cleave unto Yahweh by Shema Shah, we know that what the Lord has done miraculous miracles and wonders. All right. And he's going to perform things for those that truly trust in him. And he knows all of them. All right. Pursuant to the book of Nahum 1:7, I believe. So for us that are in the know, right, let's go to verse 15. It says, see then that you walk circumspectly, right, which circumspectly is a 360-degree view. All right. You see everything. You're watching everything. You're on point. Okay. There's a lot of psyops and deceptions going out there. You know, like the elder brother Amawan Gabal did in New York. All right. He did a beautiful lesson going into how this one bug out, he was putting up AI videos of different brothers, well, the apostles, and then you had men in different camps. And when you look at the video, the AI, you could tell it's AI, but you can see how real the AI is getting. Okay, so the demonization of the truth is going to be at the forefront. All right, and people are going to be convinced and duped that wear domestic teas, you know, while they got real people bombing and, you know, doing shit that they got upon, you know, they got set up for their agenda, man. All right. So it's going to be a lot of things happening, you know, but we're supposed to be on top of these things. Okay. You know, that's why the scripture tells us to be what? Circumspect, you know, not caught up in the cares of this life. Okay. All right. So it says not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time because the days are evil, right? The days are evil, okay? Right? So even in the NLT, it says make the most of every opportunity in these evil days, right? So you're supposed to make the most out of every opportunity to zone in on what's going on in the news, you know, in your city around you, you know, all right? Moving kind of more, you know, militant style, getting in and getting out, not being, you know, lackadaisical, okay? Because we're just in those times where, you know, things can happen when people least expect it. So it says, wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is, all right? Because this is a part of the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, all right? To make Esau come down upon the inhabitants, right? With that sword, all right, as you know, he's sharpening it, all right. And while most people are making mirth and they're enjoying their life, all right, because you really got people that are out here that are living their life under a rock, so to speak, all right. They want to stay oblivious to what goes on in the news, and they fight wholeheartedly to keep themselves from seeing the negativity that's in the world, all right. So they just focus on a 9 to 5, their children, their family, okay, their everyday life, all right. But see, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai has a way of bringing this truth to everybody's doorstep, okay, all right. And that's what the Lord is doing in these last days. He's bringing this truth to everybody's doorstep, all right, because there's going to be mass judgment, all right, and there's also going to be deliverance for a small few that sincerely turn and believe, okay, all right. So this is the warning for us. And it's also one for them, but we know that 2/3 of our people are not going to take heed to these warnings. Okay. So it says, and be not drunk with wine wherein is excess, but be filled with the Spirit. Okay. All right. Now this wine is not talking about actual wine. Okay. It's talking about what the philosophies, the ways of the world. Okay. All right. Believing that there's going to be peace, okay, when there is no peace in Babylon, all right. So the scriptures go into that, all right, in the book of Isaiah, all right, and furthermore the scriptures go into it in the book of Ecclesiastes. Let's grab that as well. Ecclesiastes, the first chapter. No, I'm sorry, the third chapter. All right, it says, Ecclesiastes 3:1, to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. All right. So you have to understand the type of times that we are in. Okay. So let's read a couple of these. It says a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down, right? Which Babylon is being broken down systematically. Okay. And all these Edomites need is the right crisis. As they say, never let a good crisis go to waste. Okay. Problem, reaction, solution. You know, the Orgalian dialect, you know. All right. So they create the problem. They get a reaction. They're going to come with a solution. All right. And in the process of this problem that they created, remember, people have to die in this process. Okay. All right. And they got this idea for them to reset the world, restart with this new digital infrastructure. OK, that they've been warning for years now. OK. All right. And we're here at the door. All right. So it says and a time to build up, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance. So it ain't a time to be laughing, enjoying life. All right, it's a time to be serious minded, you know. All right, it's time to be serious minded. All right, you know, again, being zoned in, locked in. Okay, let me jump down to verse 8. It says a time to love, a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. All right, so we're in a time of war. All right, and it's getting ready to be war outside, war out in these streets. All right, even though that you know that they're making this thing up with these individuals that are popping up out of the woodwork, all right, from these different Muslim backgrounds, but this is all part of the plan, okay? All right, just like they use the 9-1-1 situation, which we all know the truth behind that, okay? That was demolition style destruction, all right? That was all fabricated, but the people that died were real, all right? Except for the ones that got the phone call, was told to not show up to work that day, all right? But people did die, okay? Now, what I do also want to show too, all right? Remember this man right here? He said, you're gonna know who I am. Believe me, soon. You know? Let's watch this.
If you are smart enough, you will know who I am. But you are really not smart enough to know who I am. But soon you're gonna know who I am. Very easy.
Wow, very easy. The entitlement.
No, believe me, I'm much better than that.
The entitlement, guys. Wow.
Soon.
Yeah, when he was coming through the border, right? You're going to know who I am, all right? So these people are here, all right? This is the land of unwalled village where the people dwell carelessly at, okay? All right? And even the scriptures tell you in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, it also tells you that these people are like caterpillars here, all right? They're like locusts here, all right? There's a swarm of them here, okay? Let's read this real fast. Jeremiah 51 and 14 in the NLT. It says, The Lord of heaven's army has taken this vow and has sworn to it by his own name. Your cities will be filled with enemies like fields swarming with locusts, and they will shout in triumph over you. You see? All right. So these cities are going to be filled with individuals ready to take people out or you know, be kamikazes, you know, blowing things up and things of that nature. All right. Oh, it's gonna be deadly out here. Let's go back to that Steve Ram video and watch a little bit more.
Around, and you can see here, I'm not going to play the sound for you, but he is saying that he is building a bomb in his house. He's planning to detonate it, and he's going to do a societal attack. And he was planning to do it in Fort Worth. And he says that he's building explosives in his home right here in America. And he's declaring it to, I guess, some friends that he's talking to on social media. I guess he was thinking that this was not going to be caught. However, it was. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the articles so that way you can see it. And as always, these are going to be linked in the description. This one coming out past couple of hours today from Fox. It says, Afghan national admitted via Operation Allies Welcome, charged with making terrorist threats, Department of Homeland Security says. And we had heard Donald Trump after the D.C. shooting saying, hey, This is the fault of the Biden administration, letting in millions upon millions of these individuals in without a vetting process. That is the reason why we have this. And he said, I am reversing it along with all auto pen executive orders by Biden. We're going to get them reversed because he said these are just a threat to the United States of America. Let's take a look at this article here. It says, an Afghan national was arrested this week after posting a video of himself on TikTok indicating that he was building a bomb with an intent to target of a Fort Worth area in Texas, the Department of Homeland Security told Fox News. Court records show that Mohammed Dawood Al-Kozai was charged at the state level with making a terrorist threat. Now, Al-Kozai came to the United States as a part of Operation Allies Welcome under the Biden administration, the Department of Homeland Security said. Now, that was that exact same statement that we had heard from Trump, where he called the reporter stupid. He said, are you stupid? Are you a stupid person? When they asked, why are you blaming the Biden administration? And he said, because it was during the Biden administration that we saw these people begin to pour in. If you agree with Trump that that's a stupid question, drop a 47 in the comments. If you think it is obvious this is the Biden administration's fault, the open border policies, this was Biden's fault, drop a 47 for support for Donald Trump calling that reporter stupid. Now, if you didn't agree with that, drop a 46 for support for the Biden administration. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Now, the effort resettled Afghans following the U.S. military withdrawal from the country in the summer of 2021. Now, Rahmanullah Lakhanawa, the alleged gunman in the shooting of the two National Guard members this week in Washington, D.C., also arrived in the U.S. under that same program.
This settlement check completely changed my...
Now, the magnitude of the national security crisis Joe Biden unleashed on our country over the span of 4 years cannot be overstated. President Trump has directed his entire team to continue rooting out this evil within our borders. White House Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt wrote on X on Saturday, today, in a reaction to the Al-Kozai arrest. Now, Al-Kozai was taken into custody.
Now, to rid the evil out of the U.S., you know, what do you think they're going to do to rectify this, the situation? All right, they're going to bring in what Trump said. Let me pull it up real fast. What Trump said. All right, Shalaki, here it is, brothers.
We will finally complete the biometric entry-exit visa tracking system, which we need desperately. For years, Congress has required biometric entry-exit visa tracking systems, but it has never been completed. The politicians are all talk, no action, never happens, never happens. Hillary Clinton, all talk. Unfortunately, when there is action, it's always the wrong decision. Do you ever notice? In my administration, we will ensure that this system is in place. And I will tell you, it will be on land, it will be on sea, it will be in air. We will have a proper tracking system. Number 9.
That's what I was trying to get at. We will have a proper tracking system. All right. So this right here can lead up to them implementing that new tracking system, which will be the ways of the Karagma. All right, the RFID chip. Okay. All right. So Esau got this thing rolling out. All right. And, as the scripture tell us, let's get this real fast in the book of Luke. All right. I bring this out all the time. I put it on repeat, because it's one of my favorite scriptures. All right. Just knowing the times that we are in. All right. It says Luke chapter 21 and verse 34. It says, and take heed to yourself, lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with surfeiting and drunkenness and cares of this life, and so that day come upon you unaware. All right. For as a snare shall it come on all them that dwell on the face of the whole earth. Now it says, watch ye therefore, and pray always that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass and to stand before the Son of Man. So the scriptures say watch as well as pray. Okay, let's get this word watch All right.
Strong's G69. Our group Neo. Our group Neo.
Our group Neo, all right, which means to be sleepless, keep awake, watch, to be circumspect, attentive, and ready, all right? Being ready at all times. You know how the saying goes, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready, all right? So you know, knowing that they're putting this out in the news media, even though these are different types of psyops and these are set up, these are all orchestrated, but eventually this shit will be real, all right? Where people going to lose their life, and they could set off dirty bombs throughout all major cities in the U.S., okay, and have things happen simultaneously all over, all right, and it could just be breaking news, wherever you at, you just hear the breaking news, okay, mass T attack, okay, and mass casualties, and the thousands, you know, maybe the millions, all right, so. You know, we just got to be aware and be circumspect of the times that we are in. So let's watch a little bit more. I'm going to grab one more precept.
Al-Khozai was taken into custody on Tuesday, one day before the shooting in Washington, D.C., by the Texas Department of Public Safety and an FBI Joint Terrorism Task Force in a coordinated law enforcement effort. Now, on September 7, 2022, Al-Khozai was admitted to the U.S. as a lawful permanent resident. U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement has since lodged a detainer on him following his arrest. Let's go ahead and take a look at another one that has just come out. Afghan national arrested for bomb threat in Fort Worth, Texas. Now, Texas, an Afghan national who was paroled into the United States under Operation Allies Welcome, was arrested for threatening to blow up a building in Fort Worth, according to the Department of Homeland Security Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin. Mohammed Dawood was arrested Tuesday by the Texas Department of Public Safety and FBI Joint Terrorism Task Force and charged with making terrorist threats. McLaughlin said that he posted a video of himself on TikTok indicating that he was building a bomb with an intended target of the Fort Worth area. McLaughlin also said that he was paroled into the United States under President Joe Biden's Operation Allies Welcome program. So there you have it, you guys. Now we are hearing that President Donald Trump right now is saying he is going to be reversing all of this. But let's go ahead and take a look at some more video footage coming out on X here. This one from Fox News with an update. Let's go ahead and take a look.
Well, this just in, we have a Fox News alert from Brooke Taylor. You won't believe this. DHS is confirming that an Afghan national was arrested Tuesday after posting a video of himself on TikTok indicating he was building a bomb with an intended target of the Fort Worth area. Mohammed Dawood Al-Khozai is charged at the state level with making a terroristic threat. According to DHS, listen to this. He came to the United States as part of Operation Allies Welcome. So here you have it. This happened Tuesday. Texas Department of Public Safety. This is a second Afghan national, second one this week. Operation Allies Welcome. He had a terror plot. We know it comes the same week that deranged individual, that alleged assassin, took out two of our heroic National Guard, came here on the same program, Operation Allies Welcome, a program that we were assured time and time again by Mayorkas, by Jen Psaki, by Joe Biden himself was safe and secure. But here we have a second data point in 1 week that it was not safe, it was not secure. And we've got to look very hard at this program as President Trump is vowing to make change.
There you have it, you guys. Wow. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, as we are hearing that they had arrested him and he had plans to do an attack on Fort Worth, Texas, and he was building a bomb. So Trump is saying that he's going to be freezing migration and he's going to be reversing a lot of what Biden allowed. Now,
all right, so you brothers could watch the rest. I'll post this video in the description box below. Don't want to make this too long, but you brothers get the point. All right, you know, things getting ready to go down, as we've been warning about. Okay, time of trouble. All right, great evils. All right, Jacob's trouble. Let's grab that as well, right? In the book of Jeremiah, right? Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 7, right? Let's grab that. It says, Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. All right. So right now is the time to, you know, set your household in order, as the archangel was telling Ezra, right? To don't be worried about them that in this world, friends, loved ones, family members, all right? Focus on his ministry, all right? Focus on his truth, okay? All right, because see, the Most High is setting this thing up, and the Most High is getting ready to, you know, take a lot of souls off the planet Earth. All right, so even the scriptures say we shall learn from the birds. Okay, all right, that you know, when they see the different signs, you know, they migrate, they go to safe conditions. So our safe condition is, you know, us turning to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. All right, this is Jeremiah 8:7. It says, yeah, it says, the storks in the heavens know of her appointed times, and the turtle and the crane and the swallows observe the time of their coming. But my people know not the judgment of the Lord. You see, all right. They don't know the judgment of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, so they're going to be swept away like a flood. Okay, all right. But we know the judgment of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. We know the wrath of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. All right. And that's why we're moving with fear, all right, humbling ourselves in the eyesight of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, and in hopes of mercy. All right, the scriptures say, putting on as the elect. Okay, so I'm gonna pretty much leave it right there. Lord's willing, this was edifying to the Lord's elect. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to our powers, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem Rakakadash, giving double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace, mercy, and blessings to all you brothers that are out there holding firm these words in truth and sincerity and fighting for your crowns in these last days. You brothers stay strong and keep fighting. We almost up out of here. With that, shalom, shalom to the Lord's elect. Shalom.